It's going to be definitely dope. And for all the Mainers that's listening right now in tune, there's a big fashion show going on in Maine, and it's by me, Upstylish LLC. It's going to be in Portland, guys. It's going to be St. Patrick's Day weekend. I got John coming down. I got Marcus coming down from Jersey. It's going to be Hype Magazine going to be in the building. Fever going to be in the building. They're all coming down from New York. So it's definitely going to be a dope event, guys. And Jay coming down as well, too. So it's definitely going to be a dope event. Man, we got my boy Kyle Jacko in the building. Tina in the building. Trey Styles in the building. All right, cool, guys. I can't wait, man. Once he come in here, guys, it's going to be a dope show. You know, I'm going to get some more people in here. I think, let's see how you do this. Get some more people in here real quick. And then, yeah, I can't wait. So I want to thank all my viewers so far who was in here. If you guys can hear me, please let me know, because I had to switch over servers real quick because my connection was horrible. Literally horrible. So let me send him the ping real quick so he has it. And again, guys, thank you for viewing. Thank you all for just tuning in right now. Like I said, he's about to come in here in 5 minutes. He's talking to lawyers right now. So again, thank you, JoJo. Thank you, JoJo. Appreciate that, big bro. And yeah, guys, I can't wait. I met Tyrone on Clubhouse. So guys, if you're not on Clubhouse, I highly suggest you guys download Clubhouse. And yeah, I met him on Clubhouse. He came into my room on Clubhouse and, you know, dropped some powerful gems and mentioned that he was a 2-time Super Bowl champion. I was like, what? Hold on, let me go to his IG. So I went to his IG. You know, it showed on his IG. And, you know, I wrote him on the back channel. I was like, yo, I want to collaborate, connect, get you on the podcast. Sent me his email, his phone number, and we just got connected. So it's definitely dope being in tune and people like that, man. So please, guys, if you haven't yet, download Clubhouse. It's definitely a dope app to be a part of. Definitely will connect on a lot of levels, connect with a lot of people. And yeah, I'm telling you, we got Dr. G in the building, another guy I met off Clubhouse. And we just growing, man. Like, Upstylish is growing, guys. We growing and we growing. So let me send him the link. All right, cool. He be here in 2 minutes. I like that. I don't like being the main host. But yeah, what's up, G? Yeah, G, man, stay tuned for a phenomenal podcast, man. I got a 2-time Super Bowl champion coming in the room. My man played for the Patriots. Matter of fact, let me read off to you from Google. For those who aren't on Google and hasn't Googled him yet before he come in the room, let me tell you about him real quick before he comes in here. Just go on Google, type in Tyrone Poole, and you will see, click on Wikipedia search, and he's a retired American professional football player who played 13 seasons as a cornerback in the National Football League. He was drafted by the Carolina Panthers as the 22nd overall pick in the 1995 NFL Draft. He played college football at Fort Valley State. And for the teams he played for the Carolina Panthers, the Colts, the Broncos, the Patriots from 03 to 05. He played for the Raiders. He played for the Texans, the Broncos, and the Titans. So that's in 13 years of putting in work in the NFL. And, you know, I play football myself. My brother JoJo played football. He'll tell you, and it's not easy. Even at our level, you still got to put in that work, you know. So my man got up every single day to put in work. So, guys, if you want to know more about him, please just do your research. You know, go on Google, type in Tyrone Poole, and you'll get all the information you need. And once he come in here on the podcast and jump on the podcast with me, guys, feel free to ask questions. Ask questions. If you want to come up and ask a question, you know, please send an invite. I'll bring you up, and you know, you can ask me or him questions. And that's what this podcast is all about, guys. So again, let me get him in here right now because it's 10 minutes. He said 10 minutes past 1. All right, cool. Send him a text. And guys, stay tuned, man. Stay tuned. It's going to be a dope show. It's going to be a dope show, man. We got so many people in here already. You right about that. You right about that, Kyle. You right about that, man. God got something planned for me, man. And it's definitely difficult. It was scary at first, man. I've been with FedEx for 3.5 years, and when I stepped away from FedEx, that's easy money. But like I got so much stuff I'm doing right now, man. Like I said, guys, by me not going to FedEx, I was able to connect with a lot of people, and I'm still connecting with a lot of people. So again, let's see if Tyrone. Let's see what's Tyrone at. Let's see he coming in here yet. Send him an invite. Get him in here. See him an invite. Thank you guys for being patient, by the way. All of the viewers who stayed in the room still. Thank you all for just being here and waiting. Just waiting on my man to come in here. He said about 10 minutes he'll be in here. Like I said, I called him on the phone, and he was dealing with some lawyers, so it's part of being an entrepreneur. And he's told me 1 o'clock. So like I said, guys, he gonna be in here. He a man of his word. So let's get it. We got great afternoon. How you doing, Queen? Thank you so much for joining. And like I said, this is my third podcast going live, and I'm loving it. And be in store, Queen, because I got Tyrone Poole coming in here soon. He said 10 minutes past 1, but you know how it is when you out there like that. A lot of people need your time, so he'll be in here shortly. He'll be in here in a second. I just text him. He'll be here in a second. So definitely stay tuned for a definitely dope podcast. I can't wait. Thank you so much. I can't wait. And yeah, guys, like I said, take your time now to do your research. So when you come in this room, when you come in this podcast, he come on stage, you able to ask questions. You know what I'm saying? You know who he is, what he's about. There he is right there, my man Tyrone. Let's get him on stage. Let's get him on stage. Let's get him on stage. So let's get him on stage. I got him right here. So guys, the wait is over with. I'm going to get Tyrone on stage right now. Give me a second. But yeah, guys, my brother's here. T, what's up, T?
What's going on? What's going on, Refresh? How we doing, buddy?
Doing what? I'm loving the background too.
Man, can you see it good enough?
I can't. I see the Broncos, the Colts. I see you out there, man.
Am I up down? Should I switch my camera? Move it?
Yeah,
I got it horizontal.
Try horizontal.
Let me see. Go vertical with it. I got it horizontal right now.
Try vertical.
Yeah, let's see here.
There you go. That's better right there.
Hey, you got me sideways now, man. Let's see here.
Yeah.
Got those trophies in there, man.
Oh yeah, got trophies in there too. I like that.
Yeah, I know, right? Let's see what we got here.
So yeah, man, I was just talking about you, man. I was giving you a good introduction, telling the room about you, how you conquer everything, man. How you just never gave up. You just accomplished your dreams and goals. You just set the stones for younger brothers like me, and I really appreciate that a lot, brother.
Oh man, I appreciate it. Thank you for having me on, man. It's an honor.
Thank you, man. So
yes, sir.
My question to you, man, is T, man. So what drove you, man? Like, what drove you to be successful, man? Like, everybody has a story as to be successful, man. Like, what drove you to be successful? Like, by any means necessary, you was like, I'm going to play in NFL. I'm going to be this businessman. I'm going to be this guy. Like, what drove you to that?
Well, to be honest with you, I don't think I set out to be in the NFL. I didn't. I don't think none of us set out to do something. I think we actually bump into it. We bump into it because we have a vision of we want to just be the best. I think all of us have two things we want to be. We want to be great, and I think we want power. So with the pursuit of greatness and power, it ushers us in to what we become. And when I say power is the ability to influence, change your culture, change your situation. That's why people join gangs, so to speak, because when they get with a gang of people, they feel like they have power to overtake something else. That's why people want money, because they feel like if I get money, it increases my power so that I can, again, like I said, change my situation or change my environment. Greatness is kind of like what you see people on Instagram, what they're doing on all these social medias. You know, they want to be recognizable, and they want to have a name, they want to have a brand. So with power and greatness, and there's nothing wrong with chasing power and greatness. So I think my initiative was I wanted to be powerful and greater because of my situation growing up below economics of what, the general Black American family lives up under. So I didn't want to see no more of the television being turned off. I didn't want to see no more of the refrigerator being empty towards the end of the month, and the Armor baking soda man is the only one still standing in the refrigerator, keeping it fresh. But having the Kool-Aid, whether it was grape or cherry or whatever, I got tired of seeing those are only things in the refrigerator. The stomach growling. So that's why I say we bump into our destiny, but our initiative is we want to change our situation, our environment, which is power. And most people recognize that with money. And we want to be great. We want to be known. So that was how I believe I bumped into the NFL. Another way to say it is I aimed for the moon, but then I landed amongst the stars. So I aimed high and I landed in the NFL. So
like that. I mean, look, you more than an NFL player though, man. You got books, man. You a speaker, man. You going on TV shows. I think it was it American Ninja or something like that along those lines?
Yeah, American Ninja Warrior. Yeah, that was
I'm
crazy.
proud of you, man. Hey,
Hey,
I
man,
always
praise
want to go
God.
on that show, man. I see you on that show. I was like, look at my brother, man. Okay, I'm proud of you. So
Yeah, man. It was fun. It was fun. Had a lot of interesting people that I came across. There was actually a guy that actually he did the course and he had prosthetics. Of course, he didn't get that far, but he was able to get across majority of the actual drills and exercises. So, met a lot of unique people, which showed me, you don't need to have everything. You just need to have the one thing, which is passion, a desire, a purpose. And I think if you're passionate and you prepare, of course, this guy with the prosthetics, I'm pretty sure he prepared. He had the passion. Now he had to educate himself. How can I navigate against these waters and everything like that? So, but again, it was fun. Had a lot of great people. One thing I tell people, I got to say this refresher: if you ever want to find out if somebody was an American Ninja Warrior, just have them to turn their palms, and look at their palms. Anyone that has done the American Ninja Warrior for a long time, I'm like, all of their skin, they got so many like calluses across their hands, man, cause gripping that bar, man. And yeah, it's caused a lot of problems. But no, I had fun, met a lot of great people, and yeah, it was a new, opportunity.
that's what's up, man. Hey, I watch that show a lot, and I always wanted to go on that show, big bro. So see you in that show was a blessing, man. I like, cause I work out a lot, so people tell me all the time, like, Shawn, you should go on that show. You used to always working out in the gym. I was like, I don't know.
Yeah.
But then, like, seeing you do it, man, and like how you just, again, I did my research, bro. I did my research, man. I'm definitely proud of you, brother. I'm definitely proud of you, man. Like, even getting injured and coming back and starting.
Yeah.
Like, that shows the drive you have, man. That shows the drive you have, brother. Like,
But let me ask you this, Shawn. Now, you talk about American Ninja Warrior, okay? So you're like what? I think you told me you like 6'6".
Yeah, 6'6".
Woo, baby. Now, hey, your arms. See, the thing about the American Ninja Warrior is, it's like when you think about warriors, ninja warriors. unless you're Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Kareem used to do karate. I think he took classes from Bruce Lee. But when you're that height, I think sometimes it can be a disadvantage, because your arm, it could be an advantage as well, because there are certain parts of the course where you have to arm reach, is an advantage. But then there are parts of the course where, it could become a disadvantage. So the thing about the American Ninja Warrior is it's a balance, it's more upper body strength. Yeah. So, that would be one thing. If you ever decide to do it, I would say, make sure you got your upper body strength. And that's for anybody out there who's listening. If you want to be a part of American Ninja Warrior, hey, make sure you balance that upper body strength, because you're hanging your hands over your head for so many times for so long, and then the blood stops going to your upper extremities, and that's how the guys and ladies get tired and they fall off. So, but no, man, I think you would do good too. So just be aware of it's all upper body strength.
Yes, sir. I appreciate that. We got a question. So it says, Mr. Poole, have you coached? That's from Pakistan. That's my big sis in Florida. She said, have you coached? Regina, her name is my big sis Regina. Have you coached? Like, you mean coach as in coach football, as in like high school, coach college, or stuff like that? I mean, is that a question, Queen? What kind of question? I mean, not what kind of question, but like your question, is it coaching football as in high school, coaching football as in college? But yeah, I'm sorry, I had a question for you, but I guess
okay.
She said anything, so she have
okay.
you coached, period.
Yeah, basically, what I try to do, I coach mentally, physically, and spiritually. Okay, we're like three-part ties. That's the body that you got to train. Then there's the soul we have to train that, and then there's the spiritual side. So yes, I do train and I coach. Actually, I got a daughter and a son, so I've coached them pretty much, from the beginning of time. But really, when they got to the third grade, I coached them, and learned a lot from them. I learned a lot from my daughter before I share any more about coaching, which I did coach high school and coach a little bit in college as well. But I've always been a coach. But the one thing I learned from my daughter is there is you can't really treat male and females alike. Even though they are athletes, they both may run the 100, they both may run the quarter. When it comes to certain times of the month, you have to be understanding as a coach. And when she was younger, until she hit her puberty, I could train her pretty much, like she was a guy, and, they run hard. But then I learned that, there's a sensitivity to training a woman that happens during every month. And there were times when my daughter would come, and from her passion, she would come out there. But from the physical production, she couldn't do anything so as much like she would. So that taught me how to be more compassionate whenever, I train a female, especially my daughter. So she would say, Daddy, it's that time of the month. And also I'm so proud that my daughter speaks to me about her cycle. I'll say, what's wrong? Your cycle's on? She said, yeah, I got to go to the store and I got to buy my stuff, So she talked to me about all that stuff. But, as a father, I don't know how many fathers out there, their daughters actually come and talk to them like that. And so she taught me a lot about training females. But yeah, I did coach elementary, high school, and college. So yes, giving back to the physical, the soul of the man and woman, and the spiritual part of the human being.
Yes, sir. I like that. Shout out to your daughter doing track and field too, man. I'm proud of that too, man. Like, she killing it, man. She probably got your leg. I bet you, man, you was fast in the NFL. I'm telling you, I watched you. I seen you right there, man.
Hey, I see a few highlights, man.
Yes, sir. I seen you out there, man. I'm definitely proud of you, man. So, you got any questions for me?
Well, you know what? Like, as far as you doing what you do, what are the commonality of situations with young men that you see that need to be addressed? And thinking about it in this phase, how do you eat an elephant? So if we know that there's a big problem with the male, our male figures, and the answer to how do you eat an elephant is one bite at a time. My question is to you, Refresher, how are you attacking that big elephant? How are you attacking that big elephant with the young men, one bite at a time? And what does that one bite at a time look like in your approach?
By being the voice of my generation, and first of all, by eliminating the N word. We throw that word around so much, man. And one of my peers posted on Facebook. He was like, "Oh, this white guy said the N word. I'm gonna slap him in the mouth." I'm like, "Why? When you
Mm.
throwing it around, you gotta be the example. If we out here throwing it around, we gotta say king and queen. That's how I show you respect. Like I'm gonna go to a peer of mine and say, "How you doing, king?" And or even a younger black brother, "How you doing, king?" I would never throw the N word out, and that's how I'm gonna change and bite that big elephant, because that's a really big elephant. Because not only we saying it, but we got other cultures throwing it around like it's nothing. But it means a lot. Like, you just can't say that word, and that's how I'm gonna change the game, by getting everybody to say king and queen and show that respect that we should have. We all kings and queens.
Yeah. How important do you think the family structure is? You know, I have my my foundation, Tyrone Poole, 38 Foundation, and you know, all those that want to, you know, help me build champions locally and globally. You know, it could be in your hometown, but I'm trying to build family structure locally and globally. And Tyrone Poole 38 Foundation.org is where you can help me. So, Refresher, how do you feel about the family foundation? How important is it? Like you talked about getting rid of the N word and all that stuff and changing the language. How important do you think it is to go back to the foundation? It's almost like how they rebuild a house. You know, we got to tear down the foundation. We can't keep patching and putting a band-aid on it. We got to tear this whole structure down to the foundation. So we got to go back to the foundation. How important do you think it is for the mother and father to be together, or if they're not together, to interact together with their kids so that we can get rid of the N word or change the mindset? So how important is the family structure to you?
That's a great question, man, because I'm not with my son's mother. I think it's very important, because I'm not with my son's mother. I call her every single day. I call her queen. I call her, make sure she's good mentally. I make sure her do what she with, treat her right, because if he's not, he got to deal with me. So, like,
Mhm.
I make sure that she's good, because my son's seeing that. He's seeing how I'm treating his mother. So as he grow up, he's going to learn how to treat women the right way. Like right now, I got my son opening doors to women.
Mhm.
That's the thing that most men don't do. It's open
Mhm.
doors for women. If you go into a building, open a door for a woman. That's the man thing to do. And I'm teaching my kids to do that. And I mean, like you said, that's the foundation, man. Like, if my son doing that in the household, then that's gonna build up his friends. His friends are gonna see that, and that's gonna really start something.
Yeah, and I know for me, you know, I'm divorced, but I'm like you, you know, I still work very calmly with my ex, and you know, it's all about the kids. It's all about the kids. The kids had no say so about coming into this world, but we as adults, we have a say so about how their future is going to turn out. So if we can teach them how to operate in a hostile environment when things don't go wrong, because I feel like it's the consequences of the decisions and choices that get us in trouble. It's never really the choice, it's the consequences. And a lot of us don't know the consequences. So if we were to ever study the consequences prior to making a decision based off of the question, then I think we would be, you know, making better choices. But I think it's very imperative. So that's why my foundation sets up mother and son, mother and daughter events, and father and son, father and daughter events. Because at the end of the day, we are human beings put on this earth to multiply, and hopefully we can change the direction of anybody's life, which I believe you can. So, no, the family structure is very, very important. I guess something else I wanted to ask you: how have you handled, or should I say, is there anything in your life that when you look back on, you say, "Wow"? And I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people listening, and watching, they'll probably say the same thing. So I'm asking you guys this question too, as I ask Refresher. Is there anything in your life that you look back on and say, man, look at here, I wish I could have a second opportunity at that?
That answer that question, I don't think I live my life the hard way. You know, I learned a lot to be 32, and like being 32 years old. When I tell you, big bro, a lot of people, a lot of 40-year-olds think I'm 40. Literally, a lot of 40-year-olds think I'm 40, and I look at my life as a lesson. You know, being homeless, losing my mom. My mom died 11 years ago. Losing my father, my 4-year-old cousin, my grandfather. You know, I look at it as a lesson, and I just thank God to be able to overcome all that and not crumble, but to continue to stay focused and stay strong, you know? So I really don't, I'm glad that that happened to me in the past because it made me stronger, but I don't really look back at it and say, nah, I'm glad where I'm at.
Yeah. Yeah, I know with me, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people out there, again, ask yourself the same question. Is there anything in your life that you would want to change or have a second opportunity? For me, Refresher, did I give it back to you? Questions. I used to say, you know what? I had like exact situations. I'm like, I go back to January the 16th. I was driving here and driving there. If I can get in a time machine, I'll go back to that spot right there, right before I did this and did that, you know. But I've come to learn, man, based off of listening to a wise person. And I believe that wise people, you know, need to hang around wise people. A wise person surrounds himself with wise counsel, as the word says. And I heard this wise man get asked the same question, and you gave a similar answer. The question he, again, was asked, is there anything in your life that you would want to change? And he said, you know, he thought about it. He said, you know what, that's a real good question. That's a real hard question, but it's a good question. He says, no, there's nothing that I would want to change, because everything that I went through were perfect classrooms to teach me and make me who I am today. So he says, my job now, which is your job, my job, and anyone listening and looking and viewing this podcast, is to take our failures, learn from them, so that no one else that we come in contact has to live beneath what we overcame. So, like, when I heard him say that, Refresher, I said, whoa,
That's powerful.
Man, you mean to tell me January the 16th, back in such and such? You know, so I'm like, okay, I got to learn from it. So yeah, so when that question came in about coaching, yeah, so that's what I try to do, man. Not only coach the physical, but the spiritual and, you know, just the soul of the person, because guess what? There's no temptation, trial, or test that none of us not going to go through, man. None of us are exempt. You know, I tell people, Bill Gates, or whoever's the richest person on earth, as they say, it's the same. He has the same problem. He or she has the same problem as a person who, like you say, homeless. The only, you know, they're on the same stick of finances. Take that for an example. The only difference in my mind is the one who's at the top of the stick of finances, they got a whole lot of money. They're trying to find out who's taking it from them. Who's taking it from them? Did anybody go over the books, checks and balances? Where's all the money going? Whereas the person that's living up under that bridge, or that person that's homeless, they debating right now. Man, look here, I need to eat. I need some more clothing. It's cold. It's hot. I need to get some money. Where can I go get it from? So in life, that's why I say life is an opportunist. You know, there's going to be a financial opportunity. There's going to be a health opportunity. Somebody got good health. Somebody has bad health. They both want the same thing. They want to be healthy. Finances, same thing. Everybody wants finances. So everybody wants good success, because there is a such thing as bad success. You know, a lot of people scared to go to their mailbox, man. They got all the money in the world, but man, they sending somebody else out there to start their car up. They sending somebody else out there to the mailbox, because that's no way to live, man. I'm like, that's not good success. But you got a lot of money though. But then there are people who don't have all that. And man, they just as happy, just as lovely, man. So I think life is a balance, man. it's a balance. It's a balance. So
Yeah.
yeah, go ahead, Refresher.
No, I like that. It is a balance, man. Especially like I tell people all the time, if you want to really grow your brand and really get your audience big, you gotta really stay focused. Cause it's really so much negativity gonna be all over the place. You gotta surround yourself,
Yeah.
like you said, with positive people. You know, you gotta go where you celebrate it and not where you tolerate it. And
Good.
I tell people that all the time, man. Go where you celebrate it, not where you tolerate it. You know, and that's my favorite quote, man. We got a question in the building. Speaking of money, a lot of young people look into professional sports for a windfall. How do you mentor? Huh?
You
That's
know, that's kind of a good question, because as far as like, I'm gonna use it in this facet, influencer, or someone who's a role model. All of you guys out there who are listening and watching, okay, you guys, I don't care if you're not an athlete, okay, you are an influencer, you are a role model. The reason why I say that is, if what you're doing causes somebody to want to be better mentally, physically, or spiritually, then you are an influencer. You may not have the status of someone who plays sports, because I heard someone, how did they put it? Everyone who is great is not known, and everyone who is known is not great. So again, if you are doing something that makes somebody want to be better mentally, physically, or spiritually, you are an impactful person. You are an influencer. You are a role model. So that's why they say you got to be careful what you do, where you go, because you never know who's watching you, man. There were times before I even became a professional athlete. It's like hindsight being 2020. People come back to you later on and they say, man, I used to watch you when you were at Fort Valley. That's why I went to Fort Valley State University, HBCU, Historical Black College and University.
yeah,
And they would tell me, hey, I used to watch you out there on the field, man. You didn't know, but I would just sit and just watch you work out religiously, da 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 da. And you motivated me. And that was back refreshing when, like I said, I was just working out just to work out, playing sports just to play sports. But like I said, I had a goal. I want to be the best version of myself physically. And playing a sport, boom, I aim for the moon and I land amongst the stars. So again, everyone out there, man, you never know who's watching you, how you handle your kids, somebody's watching you, how you
yeah,
handle yourself, what you post on your social medias, what you say. Like you said, refreshing the N word. I'm like, people are watching. They're watching, and you never know, man. So yeah, everybody, if your life causes people to want to be better, then you are an influencer. You are a great person. You are a role model.
yeah. Man, look, you worked hard, man, because you was the first round. Come on, you was 22nd draft pick, man. I did my research on you, man. You ain't high in
Ah,
you ain't high in the draft. Now you ain't high in the draft now. So you put in that work. You put in that work, man. You took that initiative. You put that work in. That's what a lot of brothers got to do nowadays. Take that initiative.
yeah,
You got to put the video games down and go out there and work. You know what I'm saying? Like 2K, and Madden, put it down and go out there and work.
yeah. What
I tell people,
100. And I
I'm
say
like,
refresher. You hit on the work thing. They got to work that thing. Work that thing. I got a brand where I'm calling to work that thing.
yep,
And but there are 3 P's and 3 C's that I want to share. The PCs.
please,
So
please, please.
yeah, passion. And this is for all the people. There's nothing wrong with playing video games. Come on, there's nothing wrong with I played them. I played them back. They had the Nintendo and all that stuff. Man, we're gonna go all the way back. I'm gonna date myself. But hey, the point is, I always tell people the experiences of life are different, but the principles of life never change, man. Never change. They have video games during our time, just like they have video games now. Everything. So I play video games, but here's the difference. I played, but I also kept my focus on my gifts. Okay. And the 3 P's: passion. Passion is a strong emotion or feeling. So you got to be passionate about something. So when you're passionate about something, it'll make you put them video games down. It'll make you put them video games down. Because I tell my daughter, I tell my son, they have a dog too. It's a Frenchie. It's a French bulldog, right? And my daughter, she just loves that French bulldog. So there'll be times when I'm like, okay, hey, we need to go to the track. We need to go work out. I would tell her, hey, that dog, his name is Bo, B-E-A-U. So I call him Frank because he looked like the dog from Men in Black. But even though that's a pug, and Bo is a French bulldog, but they kind of look similar other than the ears. But I said, Bo, when you get older, 5 years from now, Bo, he's not gonna be cooking for you. Bo is not gonna buy you a house. Bo is not gonna buy you a car. Bo is not gonna be there to pay your taxes. So keep the first things first. It's okay to have your dog and have fun. I believe in that. But man, business before pleasure. Business before pleasure. But you can have pleasure while you're doing business. But you got to be passionate, man. You got to have passion. And passion will drive you away from the things that don't line up, And then you got to have preparation. You got to prepare. You got to prepare. Just like I said about those people that I met with the American Ninja Warrior, the guy with the prosthetics. He had to have prepared, man. How long he prepared, I don't know. But he prepared for that moment. And I'm a firm believer that there's no such thing as luck. In my mind, luck is an illusion. In my mind, the definition of luck is when preparation meets opportunity. And when that opportunity shows up, your preparation, if you prepared to A+ standard, guess what? You're going to get A+ results. I'm a firm believer that what you put on the copier is what you're going to get out on the other side. If you put a 6 in, don't try to say, I believe, oh God, I know a 10 going to come out on the other side. No, partner. If you put an 8 in, you're going to get an 8 out. Okay. So you get out what you put in, you put a 6 in, you'll get a 6 out. And the other one is you got to have partners, man. You got to have partners. You got to have partners. You cannot have success without relationship with people. You can't do it by yourself. If you got a big dream in your life and you get there by yourself, then I don't think you have the right relationships. Because actually, I think you actually are dumbing down your potential. Because you got potential to be great, but most of us do what we can do. But I believe relationship is the key. Even the apples, the fruit, the vegetables that we eat cannot produce until it had a relationship with the ground, man. You got to have a relationship with the ground, all the fertilizer, the water. Those are partners. Those are relationships. So that's why I believe partners, man, the right partners. You can't pour gasoline, even though it's a liquid. You can't pour gasoline on your seed. You got to put the right people in your life, the right people, man. So if you have passion and you prepare properly, and preparation is basically preparing something to be used. Preparing it to be used. So whether you do that mentally, whether you do that physically, whether you do that spiritually, that's preparation. Okay, and then partners, like I just described, man. And then you gotta have the right partners. Now you can't just sit and say, I'm just gonna deal with people who are on my family side. I'm just gonna deal with people who write books. I'm just gonna deal with black people. You can't do that, man. You can't do that because you never know who will bring you your last glass of water, man. So the people that you think gonna bring it to you may not be the one that God may have for you. So that's why you got to be open, but still you got to have standards. You got to have standards. You just can't let anybody come in. And I'm gonna let you go and talk some more, but I want to come back. I want to talk about the 5 types of people that I believe we all will meet in our lives as we go on this journey of life. But go ahead, Refresher, man. You don't got me going up here, man. Hallelujah, praise.
I love it. Hey, my big bro, my brother Giorgio from Maine, he played football as well too, man. So he loving this, man. I guarantee he a fan too. But he asked a question. He said, "How do you determine who's right for you?"
Oh, first you gotta know who you are. And that goes back to the same thing I told my daughter. Again, it's so funny how life, hindsight being 2020. That's why I asked you that question. Is there anything in your life that if you look back on, you would say, "Man, I wish I could do that again." And that's why when I said the wise person that I listened to, he says, no, there's nothing in my life, just like you said, because my job is to study and then regurgitate it. Didn't want to use that word. Can I say regurgitate? Regurgitate, give it back to, you know, those who are following me. So what I've learned is you got to know who you are. You got to know who you are first. You got to date yourself first. Date yourself first. So many times we going out dating other people, whether it's in business or relationship. We try to learn more about them, which we should be trying to learn more about ourselves first. Date yourself. Know what you will do and what you won't do, you know. And if you can date yourself, like I tell my daughter, I tell her, hey, name me 5 things about you. But if anybody listening and watching, you may know you don't have to do 5 things. Name me 3 things. Look in the mirror and tell yourself 3 things that you know who you are. Now, myself, I'm not a football player. So don't go into the mirror. I'm not going to go into the mirror and say, oh, I'm a football player. No, I'm not. Football is something that I did, that I do. Okay, who am I? Oh, I'm athletic. Oh, okay, athletic. So if I'm doing something in sports, the people that I need to entangle myself with, is that a Will Smith and Jada Pinkett entanglement? Let me stop, man. But the people that you entangle yourself with, that's a joke. Love you, Will. Love you, Jada. Yeah, just, you know, but anyways, but the people that you surround yourself with, they have to be like you, not like you, but of you. So, okay, hey, I'm humorous. I love family. Those are who you are. I'm loving. So when you know more about yourself, then it makes it easier for you to go out there and find people that are in your wheelhouse.
I totally agree, man. And you just got to build your team, man. Jesus Christ had 12 disciples.
Come on, man.
He had 12 disciples, man. So you got to build your team. You know, it's all about surrounding yourself around people who's going to elevate you and feed your flame. You know, really nourish and inspire you, not bring you down. You know, so you want somebody going to throw logs on your fire. You know, not I tell people that all the time. So, and that's why I tell people, man, like, never be scared to open your mouth, because once you open your mouth, you tell the world who you are. You know, so
sometimes you gotta be silent. You gotta be silent, man. Sit there and just listen. And sometimes I have to be like that, as you can see. Sometimes I get going, man. I get going, but it's because I'm passionate. I'm passionate about what I do and what I'm trying to become. So yeah, sometimes you gotta be silent, man. But yeah, I hear you on that, Refresher.
Thank you so much, man. So yeah, man. So out of 13 years in the NFL, man, I gotta ask you, man, like, tell the viewers, man, the grind, the grit, the determination, the mindset, the mentality that you gotta have to really be on that level.
Man, let me tell you. Now, I said the PCs. Okay, I gave you the P's. All right, passion, preparation, and partnership. Now, the other part of the story, or the other side of the coin, because if you're gonna have success, you gotta have both sides of the coin, right?
Yes, sir.
You and this goes back to yourself. You gotta have confidence, courage, and you gotta be consistent. Okay. You gotta have courage, man. You gotta believe in yourself. If you're gonna be great, you know, we look at all the people, whether it's in athletics or corporate America, you know, what separates them from everybody else? What separated me from other HBCU athletes that were playing at the same time and when I came out into the draft? What made me so special? They have 2 arms, got 2 legs, they put on a helmet, they played defensive back, they ran track. What made me so different? It's that thing that sits 6 inches between my ears. My mindset. My mindset, man. You know what? I want it. I'm better than you. Not saying I'm better than you to like disgrade you, but I'm like, hey, I believe in myself. That's where that confidence comes in. That confidence comes in. And confidence is built up also the more and more you do something. The more, so that's why you can't be scared. You gotta have courage. You gotta have courage. You know, why is it that the lion is the king of the jungle, man? It's not the biggest. And people, listen up. What I'm about to say now, I'm about to erase any and every excuse you got right now from being the best version of yourself by using the lion. Why is it that the lion is the king of the jungle? Okay. Well, maybe I should ask the question. Who or what animal is the king of the jungle? I already give you the answer. Giving you the answer.
I know.
It's a lion. It's life. You know the answer. You already know where I'm going with it, huh? All
I
right. So
do.
for those who haven't heard about it, okay. Well, hey, again, I believe in principles of life. Examples are examples. Refresher example of how he used this story that I'm about to tell you is different than what and how I used it, but the principle is the same. It made us who we are. It put us above where other people faltered. So the lion is the king of the jungle. Now the elephant is bigger, heavier. The hippopotamus is bigger and heavier. The cheetah is faster. The giraffe may be taller. So that says to me, to be successful or to be known or have a sturdy presence in society, you don't have to be big. You don't have to be fast. You don't have to be tall. What makes the lion the king of the jungle is the courage that it has. It's mentality. When the lion meets an elephant and the elephant meets the lion mentality is, ooh, I'm hungry, and you're in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Yep.
Whereas the elephant like, oh my goodness, oh, here come the eater. Oh, let me turn around. Let me get up out of here. As big as the elephant is, it's running. Why is it running as big as it is? Because of his mentality. Why is the lion attacking? It's smaller than the elephant because of his mentality. So your mentality can make you or break you. That's why you got to be careful who you hang around, what you say to yourself, what you're looking at, what you're reading, what you're hearing, what you're saying. It's your mentality. All that stuff goes into your mentality. And when people come tell you you can't do it, that's like I say, you got to have confidence in yourself. You know what? I'm going to try it. I'm going to try it. Throw me a ball. I drop it. I didn't lose. I learned a way not to catch the ball. Hey, throw it back. Throw me another one. Drop that one. All right, all right. I almost had it. Pick it up, throw me another one. Then finally you catch it. Oh, throw me another one. Boom, you catch it. Boom, you catch it. You catch it. So that's where consistency comes in, man. Consistency. You know what? Consistency. So you got to have confidence in yourself. You got to have courage, man. And then you got to be consistent in your efforts. And I promise you, you aim for the moon, having courage to aim for the moon. And you got to have the consistency, man. So have confidence in yourself. Have courage, consistency. And I'm telling you, you will fall where your greatness, you'll be like, man, look at here. I just tripped up and fell here. No, you didn't. It was purposely dealt to
Exactly.
you. So, yeah, man.
And don't be scared to close your eyes and dream, but to open your eyes and see.
Yeah.
That's
So
what I
what?
say.
So what about you, Refresher? So how does what I said play into what you and who you are right now? That confidence, courage, and consistency, man. Give us a story.
Ah man, you just said it, man. Like that lion, man. Like you said, a lion isn't the biggest or the fastest, but a lion is the hungriest. That hunger never dies in a lion. And I try to tell people all the time, you have to get hungry. You have to keep that flame lit. Like when I was homeless, I could have gave up. They told me to stop working, quit my job, and get a voucher to get out the shelter. I laughed at them. I just stayed homeless, started working. Two, three jobs. Like I told you on the phone this morning, playing football for the first time in my life at 27 back in the day, and just having that fire, man. Like I told myself when my mom passed away that I would build a hospital. I'm trying to build the sickle cell cancer treatment hospital for everybody, but it's for our community as most too, because sickle cell is predominantly found in African Americans. So like that, having that fire lit in me just to get this hospital built for our people, for people, man, to get back to the community, man, build churches and hospitals, and just having that fire lit. I tell people all the time to write your why down. You write your why down. That's gonna fuel you every single day through character building days. I don't call bad days bad days. I call bad days character building days, because you're building character. You're fighting yourself because you know you're better than this. But yeah, you're going through something right now. But you building character, and
Mhm.
it's just always thinking about my kids and just keeping that fire lit, man. Having that true lion mentality. Like a lot of people claim to be a lion, but you gotta be hungry. You can never give that hunger up. You got to continue to go out here and chase your dreams, be successful by any means necessary. You don't got to play football, like you said. You don't got to do boxing. I've been boxing for the past 7 years myself.
Mm.
But you don't got to do boxing. You can go out there and do other things. You can write a book, like you wrote a book yourself. You can write a book. You can speak. can do so much things to be great, but you got to apply yourself. You got to sit down and really apply yourself. Have that time to focus and reflect. Reflection is definitely vital. You know, you got to have that reflection time. So, and me, I just reflect a lot, man. I sit down and I think about all the things that I've been through, losing my mom, being homeless. And I'm just proud of myself. Like, damn, I came this far. Like, how far can I go? You know what I mean? And just being blessed, me and you, my boy Trey in the building. He's doing my clothing brand, and we just pushing it, man. Like, it's just having that fire lit, man. So that's a good question. Thank you.
Yeah. Now I'll add on to what you're saying, like life. A lot of people don't know this, but people always ask me, how did I end up at Fort Valley State? Because sometimes they look at me, refresher. They say, wow, you know, you got D1 talent. How you end up at, you know, Fort Valley? So it's most of the time they think when you have D1 talent and you end up at a lower division of athletics in college, they think it was education. No, really, I did something that most of us, if not all of us, do and will do at some point in our lives. I made bad decisions. You know, and that's why I say the consequences. The consequences, it's never the decision. It's not knowing the consequences of that decision that messes us up. So I quit football in high school. Man. My senior year, halfway during the season, I come to practice late. I had to stay after, actually, the sixth period. In my high school, during my time, they had 6 periods. So the 6th period, my teacher told me I had to stay after. So practice was like right there. We started practice like at 3:30. School let out like around 3 o'clock. So, you know, you got to hustle down, man, put that uniform on, and you got to get to practice, you know. So I had to stay after. And about the time I got to practice, you know, practice had already started. Stretch was already going. And the worst feeling in the world, I don't know about you, I don't know about those who are watching, man, but the worst feeling is to walk in somewhere late and everybody is looking at you. You like walking in and all the eyes go to you. You know, you feel embarrassed, man. So I come in, I walk on the field late. And again, I'm a senior now, captain. And the head coach, he got on me, man. He got on me. And this is where the young guys, that's why you got to have a mentor and a model. We talked a little bit about this. You got to have a mentor and a model. The mentor is someone to make sure you are accountable, but you got to have a model, something that you can follow, something that you can cut from. If it says cut 12 by 12, you got to cut 12 inches by 12 inches. So a young guy, a young man, I'm probably like 17, going on 18. I didn't have nobody who, other than my buddies, and some of them didn't know right from wrong. So when my coach led, you know, really got into me about being late, I didn't quite understand it. I thought he was trying to embarrass me. So guess what? My pride kicked in. Now, I didn't try to lash back out and, no, you this, no, who you talking to? In my mind, I was saying it. You know, the difference between us and probably the kids now, back in the day, we held in what we wanted to say. Because we know if we spoke out, man, especially at our parents, you know, well, our face would be against the wall somewhere. So we held in and we mumbled. What you say? Oh, I didn't say nothing. But now kids just all wild, man. But again, that's why that family is so important. But my coach, he just got into me, man, and really made me feel like that small. So my ego kicked in, and I'm like, you know what? He's not gonna be talking to me like that. So you know what? I quit. Threw my helmet down, walked off the field, man. And I'm thinking because I'm like one of the superstars on the team, that he's gonna call me back. Like, oh, Tyrone, come back. And it never did happen, man. He told me, get out the field, go to the locker room, and turn in your uniform. So as I got closer to that fence, I'm like, man, Tyrone, you're at the point of what they call it, the point of no return. Man, look at here. You either turn around and drop your pride and tell the coach, hey, coach, my fault, man. My fault. I apologize, coach. It would have been squashed. But my pride kicked in. Because my pride kicked in because my boys were laughing at me. You know, you can see them in the distance, you know, they, you know, out the corner of your eyes and stuff, you know, they covering up their mouth and everything. So that just poured more fuel onto the fire. And I walked out the field, man, and then never put that uniform back on again. But there was a lady who actually was an alumnus of Fort Valley State, who was a teacher at my school, my high school. And she asked me, she said, Tyrone, where are you going to school? And just like any person who goes to any college, you want to recruit for your school. So she says, hey, you want to go to Fort Valley State? I said, Fort Valley State? I don't even think I heard Fort Valley. I think I heard another opportunity, praise God, to put that uniform back on, man, and get back on that road to the journey, or that road that was leading me to my destination. At that moment, I had taken a detour. But then this alumnus, she came back and asked me, and she was my GPS. You know, when you get off the road, the GPS will say, when possible, please make a U-turn, you know, or it'll tell you which road to take. Yeah. She was my GPS. I had exited off, got off on the wrong exit, but she was there to put me back on the right path. But I had to take a little bit of different road, but actually I still got to my journey. So yeah, that's a little story, man, I like to share with people, that, hey, you can mess up in life. You can stumble, like we talked about the other day. You can stumble, but if you don't become too stubborn to not listen, you can stumble. Don't be stubborn, and you still can seize the opportunity. So you just got to listen to that GPS internal clock, man, and get back on your right path, and you'll still make it.
Yeah, I'm definitely proud of you, man. You came a long way, man. You overcame so much. And I tell people all the time, your mess is your message, and your test is your testimony. And you definitely came up here, man, and told people how well. I like that, man. So tell us more about your book, man. I see you got a book going on too, man. Tell us more about your book, T.
Oh, man, I'm glad you actually mentioned that. You know, I got to have it right here in front of me, baby. Yeah, you know, can you guys see me? Can you still see the trophies too? Yeah. I did joking. No, but here's my book. My book is called The Ultimate Success in the Game of Life. And this book is not about me. It's not like I'm sitting here talking about, when we played the Green Bay Packers, or when we played the Rams, or when we played. No, this book is not about those stories. This book chronicles the journey, the ups and downs, and 12 dynamic principles now, that when I look back, hindsight being 2020, I said, man, this is what got me to where I am. I got to tell people about this. So wherever you are in your life, these principles in this book will help you. You'll learn things like the right pattern to follow. You know, are you following the right pattern? You know, that's a saying that goes, if you continuously do the same thing, looking for different results, that's a sign of insanity. So most of the time that means we follow the wrong pattern. So do you know the right pattern to follow? Do you know how your words affect your actions? You know, that's why I tell people, I do sometimes use the word lose and loss, but for the most part, I say I always win. I never lose. I'm either winning or I'm learning. I'm winning or I'm learning. Just like I gave the description of throwing the ball. I didn't lose. The only time I lose is when I don't get back into the game. I don't get back on that horse. That's when I lose. But if I make the decision to get back in the game, I'm learning. And that's where we got to have our intellect, okay? And then just a lot of people don't know how to rise above the level of defeat. Once we lose, we fall down. You got to learn how to pick yourself back up. There's not going to be people there to pick you up. You got to have that inner fortitude, man, that inner strength. You got to encourage yourself. There's a song that says, encourage yourself. I like to listen to it. It's a gospel song. You got to encourage yourself. Because there going to be people, man, who, what if you're there by yourself? You know, what if you're there by yourself? You got to learn to encourage yourself. But this book, Ultimate Success in the Game of Life, they do come autographed. I personally autographed it. I put, you know, whatever needs to be said that comes in my mind at that time to help encourage people. Because again, like I said, my story, my belief is that I'm here to help people, refresher, to overcome that which so that they don't live under that which I overcame. And sometimes you have to put it in a book because there may not be a lot of people who will hear this podcast, but they will always be able to pass this book around. So this book will outlive me. So I may not be here, like I told you today. The place where you were homeless, you're not there no longer. But there are people who say, man, you know what, man, I remember when Shawn was right here. Refresher was right here. I could just hear him right now talking. I could just hear him right now saying this and that. So we may die to a situation, but we live in that situation forever. We're no longer there physically, but our words will always be there because there will always be somebody who will always say, I remember when Refresher did this, when Refresher did that. So yeah, so this book can be found at TYRONEPOOLE38.com. Again, TYRONEPOOLE38.com. Ultimate success in the game of life. I think you still there, Refresher? And we having a little slight delay right there. Okay. Yes, TYRONEPOOLE38.com. I would tell people if you can remember my name and my football number. You got the website. Yeah, it's a slight delay. It's a slight delay, a little bit there, Refresher. I don't know if that's on my end or okay, okay. Yes, I see it, sir. Yes, sir. TYRONEPOOLE38.com. That's it.
My brother's on support.
I can see you. It's yeah. It's a little bit of delay still. That could be on my end. I hope not. Yeah.
All right, you guys can't hear me.
Yeah, it's still a slight delay. I don't know whether that's my end or can you see me? Am I coming across real good? Am I? I guess if anyone can let us know who, how everything is going. Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you. The movement is slight. The movement is kind of like delayed, but I can hear you. Yeah, technology, man. Technology, man. You have a good. You can't hear me? Man. Let me see. I don't even know if I click off. Let me see. I'm gonna try to trying to get to.
Man, let me figure it out. Let me figure it out. Ah, man.